Hey all, welcome to Homeschool, and this is our second session on a chapter metals and non-metals, isn't it? In my previous class, I have told you everything about physical properties of metals and non-metals. Say metals look differently, non-metals look differently. Metals are hard, metals appear shiny, metals are sonorous, metals are malleable, ductile, yes or no? Whereas non-metals are exactly opposite. So all that we discussed in our previous video, and to some extent based on physical properties we can identify whether something is a metal or non-metal, but that is not true 100% because there are some exceptions. Okay, so you know what, iodine is a non-metal but it is shiny. Okay, it shows metallic luster. It's a non-metal, but it is shiny. So this is exception. Okay, so there are certain exceptions always. So actually to identify whether something is a metal or non-metal, we will go for learning their chemical properties. Okay, so today's class is all about chemical properties. I am starting with chemical properties of metals and non-metals, right? So there are so many chemical properties. Chemical properties in the sense chemical reactions, okay, right? So based on chemical reactions, one can identify whether something is a metal or a non-metal. Okay, so now let us learn about chemical reactions one by one. So the first chemical reaction, so today's video is about first chemical reaction is with oxygen. Okay, let us see how metals and non-metals react with oxygen. So what is the heading? Reaction of metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals with oxygen. So oxygen is everywhere in our atmosphere, right? So usually metals and non-metals can react with this oxygen. Let us see how they react with oxygen. And here first let me discuss reaction of metals with oxygen. Okay, so let us compare and study, and here let me discuss reaction of non-metals with oxygen, right? So that you can able to compare how metals react with oxygen and non-metals react with oxygen. And coming to metals reacting with oxygen. So the best example that I can give you is example 1, rusting of iron. Have you ever observed rusting of iron? So iron chemical symbol is Fe. So if you have iron articles at home, it can be a iron chair, iron tawa, or whatever it is. When you expose it to atmosphere, say iron chair, you bought it new, but you have not kept it inside the house, you kept it outside, and see it is exposing to atmosphere for so many days. After some days, do you expect iron chair being same the day you bought it? No, right? The iron chair would have spoiled. You would have observed that brown color powder appeared on iron chair. So this is what we call rusting. Okay, so that brown powder that appears on iron articles when they are exposed to atmosphere, you know, that process, that is actually a chemical reaction, and that is what we mean by rusting. So what might have happened here with iron chair? This iron, Fe, is iron. Okay, this is the symbol. This iron would have reacted with oxygen. Oxygen formula is O2. Okay, so this is the formula of oxygen. and it also would have reacted with water. H2O is what? Water, right? So the iron chair that is reacted with oxygen which is there in the atmosphere, and it has also reacted with water that is also there in the atmosphere. Water vapor is there in atmosphere, isn't it? So all of them have reacted. So what and all will react, that we will write it left hand side when you write the reaction. Clear? So what you had got a new substance here. It is no more iron now. It has reacted with these two guys and this has converted into another chemical substance called Fe2O3. This Fe2O3 is not same as iron. It is some new substance that is formed. This is what? That brown powder. Okay, and dot H2O. It has reacted also with H2O, right? So this is a new substance that you will observe on iron articles. This looks brown powder. This is what? That brown powder. Okay, this is what we call it as rust. Right? So this is an example how metals can react with oxygen. Okay, and now another example, example number 2. Magnesium is there. Okay, so this magnesium is available in the form of ribbons. Okay, so we call them as magnesium ribbons in market. So this magnesium, when you heat with oxygen, okay, when you heat this, it will react with oxygen and you will get a new substance called magnesium oxide. This is what we call it as magnesium oxide. Okay, so you see oxides are formed. Any metal, this is a metal, iron is a metal. Any metal, if it is there in combination with oxygen, we call them as metal oxides. Okay, so what happens? When metals react with oxygen, what do you get? Metal oxides you will get. Okay, so let me write that sentence. Very, very important. When metals react with oxygen, what do you get? Metal oxides are formed. Metal oxides are formed. Okay, so this is what we call metal oxide. Iron reacted with oxygen, you got iron oxide. Okay, so this is also called with the name iron oxide. And magnesium is a metal. When it reacted with oxygen, you get white powder of magnesium oxide. So these guys we can call generally as metal oxides. Okay, and now let us discuss what is the nature of metal oxides. Okay, so actually metal oxides have basic nature. They behave like bases. So about acids and bases, little idea we had in our previous class, that is in class 7, right? So I think you all can able to understand what I mean by acid or base, right? So what am I telling you now? These metal oxides, let me write that point here. It's very, very important. Metal oxides have basic nature. Basic nature, that means they behave as bases. Okay, so how do you know that? How can you tell that these metal oxides like iron oxide, magnesium oxide, any other metal oxide? Metal oxide means any metal, it is there in combination with oxygen. Okay, so such metal oxides are basic nature. How do you know that? How can you prove this? Say one activity you can do. For example, when I take a solution of, say, in a beaker, I will take this brown powder, I will add into water. So now it becomes Which solution? Rust solution. So that brown powder I have, made a solution. And now imagine I have two litmus paper. One is red litmus paper. The other one is blue litmus paper. Okay. So what is the use of this litmus paper? They will tell you whether something is acid or base. Yes or no? Fine. Say when I dipped red litmus paper into this rust solution, this red litmus paper has converted into blue color. Okay. When I dipped this blue litmus paper into this solution, this has converted into blue only. This remained blue itself. What does this indicate? Red converted into blue. Blue litmus paper when I dipped, it remained blue only. This will tell that the solution is basic. Okay. So if something is base, then only red litmus paper changes to blue. If blue you add, blue remains blue only. Okay. So basic, B, blue. Remember, red turns blue. Blue if you add, blue remains blue itself because this is base. Okay, so in base, your litmus paper color changes this way. We will have two litmus papers, red and blue. Red changes to blue, blue remains blue only. So this is the proof for us to tell that metal oxides have basic nature. Okay, this is very, very important. So all metal oxides actually have basic property. They behave as bases. So this is one important point that you need to really understand. Okay, so let me recall once again what we have studied. We studied reaction of metals with oxygen. So when metals react with oxygen, say two examples we studied. Iron when reacted with oxygen and water, you got this. Magnesium when reacted with oxygen, you got this. So these guys commonly we can call them as metal oxides. And these metal oxides behave as bases. They have basic character. And how do you prove that? You can prove that with the help of litmus papers. Okay, so litmus paper color change is actually telling us that these solutions, metal oxide solutions, are behaving as bases. Okay, fine. And now let us try to understand how non-metals can react with oxygen. Metals reacted this way. Let's understand how non-metals can react with oxygen. Say coming to reaction of non-metals with oxygen. Let me take the non-metal as sulfur. Okay. So example. I'm giving you example number 1. Say sulfur. So symbol for sulfur is S. Say this sulfur when it reacts with oxygen. Oxygen is O2. What is O2? It means oxygen. When it reacts with oxygen, you know what? You will get sulfur dioxide. Its name is sulfur dioxide. Right? Fine. And another example I can show you. Example number 2. Carbon. Carbon symbol is C. Okay. This when reacts with oxygen. You will get carbon dioxide. You must have heard about carbon dioxide many times, right? And you know what? What is this? Sulfur is a non-metal. Non-metal in combination with oxygen. We call them as non-metallic oxides. So these guys are examples for non-metallic oxides. So what is the point that I would like to write here? When non-metals react with oxygen, what do you get? Non-metallic oxides. Non-metallic oxides are formed. Okay, so this is really very, very important. So these two can be an example for non-metallic oxides, right? Say in the previous case, metallic oxides were formed. Can you tell me what was the nature of metallic oxides? Basic. And here, the nature of non-metallic oxide is acidic. Okay, so non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. They behave as acids. Okay, so they are acidic. And how do you prove that? How do you know? You can do an activity here. Okay, say for example, in a beaker, I took sulfur dioxide solution. Okay, and I will dip red litmus paper. And I will also dip blue litmus paper. You know what? Red litmus paper remains red only. Blue litmus paper gets converted into red. Right? Say by change in the color of litmus paper, I can confirm that this sulfur dioxide solution is acidic in nature. It behaves as acid. Okay, only if something is acid, our red litmus paper remains red and blue litmus paper gets converted into red. Okay, so by this litmus paper test, one can identify whether a solution is acidic or basic. Okay, so here all non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Okay, so that is why normally, you know what, sulfur dioxide, when I put it in water, I will get one strong acid called sulfurous acid, that is H2SO3. This is the acid we will get. What do you call this as? Sulfurous acid, right? So sulfur dioxide, I have put in water, I made a sulfur dioxide solution. What is this solution? It is nothing but sulfurous acid. It is acid. That is the reason your red litmus paper remained red, blue litmus paper has converted into red. Okay, so all non-metallic oxides behave as acids. They are acidic in nature. Okay, so this is about non-metals reacting with oxygen. So when metals react with oxygen, metallic oxides you will get, and they have basic nature. Metallic oxides have basic nature. Whereas non-metals, when reacts with oxygen, you will get non-metallic oxides, and these guys have acidic nature. And that you can prove with the activity of litmus paper test, something like this. Okay, fine. Okay, so in our textbook, there is one information mentioned, right? Something about copper. We have learnt rusting of iron, right? And how about copper? You know what? Copper articles become green in color, isn't it? They become green in color, right? So why they become green in color? When you expose copper articles into atmosphere, this copper will react with oxygen. It can react with water. It can also react with carbon dioxide. Okay, copper is reacting with oxygen, water, carbon dioxide, and you will get copper hydroxide as one product, one compound, and copper carbonate as another compound. So two new substances you are getting. When copper has reacted with all these things. Okay, and this one copper carbonate is there. No, this is what, that green color. Okay, so that green coat you must have observed when you have copper articles in your house. When you keep it for many days, exposing it to atmosphere, green coating will appear at the bottom. That green coating is because of the formation of this compound. Okay, so this is actually green in color. So this is some extra information that you can remember, right? So this is all about reaction of metals with oxygen and non-metals with oxygen. Okay, so hope the concept has become clear for you. It's very important to remember non-metallic oxides are acidic and metallic oxides are basic. So when do you get metallic oxides? When metals react with oxygen. When do you get non-metallic oxides? When non-metal react with oxygen. Okay, so that's all about today's video, and in next video I will discuss about metals and non-metals reacting with water. Today's video we discussed reaction of metals and non-metals with oxygen. Tomorrow's video we will discuss about reaction of metals and non-metals with water. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the session, and do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in an easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.